Ding 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 ding.
Bubble time.
Hi, my name is Teresa Tomey.
And I am Patrick Ziegler.
And we are
Bubble Entertainment.
And this is
Bubble time.
And this is what special occasion?
One year of doing Bubble time.
2 minutes in one. Yes. How exciting. 1 year ago. And our first guest was our mentor and theater.
Actually, we were our first guest.
We were our first guest.
We did it. You remember? But our first guest other than us was Mr. Cebulski.
Our Fred Cebulski, our theater, where we met doing theater.
I'm writing, hello all. Where are you watching from? Who's here?
That's great. Well, oh shoot. Okay. Well,
did you put it on your other computer?
No, I had a little bit of minor computer issue just before we started here. So I'm I don't know what the word I was going to say is, but it doesn't matter because what I need to do right now while Patrick is doing that is I need to interview our guest. And Patrick has said so much about this wonderful woman, and I've had the opportunity to see her perform a couple of times. Wicked funny, wicked quick. Oh my gosh. Stephanie Courtney is a comedic actress who has appeared in such shows as Mad Men, The Goldbergs, You're the Worst, and Comedy Bang Bang, among others. She's best known, however, of course, for her portrayal of Flo, the Progressive Insurance lady, for over a decade.
A decade.
Which is insane. And I sent a message to Melinda because Melinda has gone as Flo for Halloween.
And so is my niece. It's so fun.
This must be surreal as a performer. She is an alumni of the Groundlings sketch and improv theater, which is where Patrick met her. She performs regularly in their Wednesday night long form improv show, the Crazy Uncle Joe show. Of course, now it's on Zoom because, as she says, and then she hugs the Lysol wipe. We are delighted to have this uber talented woman spending our 1 year anniversary with us. So please welcome Stephanie Courtney.
Ta-da! Hello. Hi, Stephanie.
I love your jingle.
Isn't it a little catching? It's a little catchy.
I love it.
We actually have musician friends that are a couple, and they surprised us, and in their interview they actually played it and sang it for us. So they're going to record it for us. So
that's awesome.
So we got a question. Oh, yay! Oh, one of our regulars says, "Happy first year, you two! Wow, this year has gone by so fast. Amazing year. Have so enjoyed."
Yay. Thanks, Eugenie. Yeah, she's a good guest.
Oh, that's
a good viewer. She's been with us on this long journey. So we're so excited to have you for our special 1 year.
That's awesome. I'm thrilled to be here, and I hope for your second year you have the jingle playing.
Right? And it's so exciting to have a fellow Groundling friend, and we had on Ariane, and we've had on Mindy Sterling.
Oh my
and
God.
So we have plans to knock on other Groundling people.
We had me. I made it through the first class.
Yes, that is not easy.
I made it through. I mean, I didn't go further, but
you know what?
I did it.
You're on the other side of it. Forever changed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember how many. I think we were in 2 years together.
I think we were. Wait. I think we were in lab together. Am I crazy?
We were. I know we were in number 3.
That's lab. That's right.
And then number 4 is writing, right? And then.
Yes. Well, number 3 is writing, and then number 4 is writing, but it's twice as long, and you're going to do 2 shows.
Yeah, I think that's where I got cut.
Oh. So wait. So you did write and go crazy for 6 weeks and then do your show on a Sunday afternoon. That's lab.
Did I do that? Gosh, I don't remember. Because I remember it was you and me and Kent Sublet was in our class.
I think that was it. And then Melanie Graham was our teacher, and Tim Bagley was sitting in to learn how to teach.
Yes, which Tim Bagley says he didn't do.
Oh, so what was he up to? He was just
no, he did do it. He did do it.
Oh,
and
he never taught though. He said,
so you're my proof. He was learning at that time, and he was like, "No, I don't think I did that, Patrick." I'm like, "Yes, you did. I know you did."
Patrick remembers that stuff. He just remembers.
He is so funny. His note for me, I remember I played like someone in a summer camp and I put lip gloss, all like dots of lip gloss all over my legs as mosquito bites. He goes, "They're glistening and weeping. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Please don't do it." I was like, okay, I trust you.
Your teacher. Well, and I tell you, we're jumping ahead. I haven't done our first question yet, but I walked in right after seeing Waiting for Guffman in my first class, and my first teacher is Michael Hitchcock.
I mean, come
and
on.
that and this was the joke: is Mark and I had just bought a little poopy car, and guess what we named it?
What?
Corky, because of the way Mike Hitchcock screams, "Corky!" You know. Oh yay! Danny Salas is here. Do you remember Danny Salas?
Of course I do. Danny Salas, how you doing? Oh my gosh.
We were talking.
He's sung your praises over the years to us. I love her.
All right. Are his kids like in college, post-college?
No,
high school.
High school.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing.
Danny is one of our writing and producing partners, and has directed for us, and we worked with him on the Joan Rivers animation, and so yay, we were singing your praises the other night.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, hello.
Okay, we could just go on Groundlings World forever, but let's go to the first question. You want to ask the first question, Teresa?
Well, we ask people this, and we're just curious because our show is about creativity and how people came to be the creative beings that they are. When were you bitten by the entertainment bug, and how did it manifest? What was that?
It was pretty early. Like my dad and mom, my dad was a big fan of all sorts of comedy and a big film buff too. And we kind of got like, the 30s and the 40s and 50s and 60s. And then around the 70s, it kind of stopped. And it was just like, I wasn't watching like Easy Rider. I wasn't watching like, Taxi Driver or whatever. But I got a lot of like the big musicals and the black and white classics and stuff like that. And so I remember we were raised on that, and comedy albums like Bob and Ray and Bob Newhart and stuff like that. So we had a lot of that steady diet. Also, I was raised about half hour, 45 minutes outside of New York City. So a lot of times our school trips or our birthday presents or Christmas presents would be a Broadway show.
Nice.
So I remember short answer is seeing my sisters do theater. Seriously. I was like, when can I do that? Like, I seriously was just like, I want to do that. But one of the first performances I remember seeing was Kevin Kline and Rex Smith and
oh my gosh,
in Pirates of Penzance.
Really?
Yes. At I know the name of the theater. It
started at the Public. Was it at the Public? Yeah.
The Public Theater.
Yeah.
And it was such a hot show. My parents got us tickets, and I remember they were all amazing. And I've gotten to meet Rex Smith. I've gotten to shake his hand, tell him I think he's amazing. But
since then. Oh, okay. Oh my God.
The world shut down. I got to like see him do a one-man show because a friend of mine's working with him, and I was like, dude, like, thank you for everything. Thank you for Sooner or Later, and thank you for that. Like, he's awesome, and he still like looks amazing and can sing the high notes and all that stuff. I have yet to tell Kevin Kline that I had never in my life seen, and like I was like he was fresh out of Juilliard. He was maybe 26. I don't even know. He was so young and so handsome and vibrant, and he was so funny, and he could sing, and he was like doing actual sword fighting on that stage. Like I remember him at one point, they're in a fight and someone drops a sword and he takes his sword and flicks it to the other guy, catches it, and like singing and making us laugh at the same time.
Oh my God.
I remember thinking like, that's a human being. Like it's possible. Like people are doing this, like, so I'm a person, like maybe I can do that. Like just knowing when you see it live.
Did you see it? Somebody's asking, did you see it in Central Park?
No. I believe we saw it at the Public. We were in the
theater before it moved there,
and it was a small theater. It's like it's all painted black, and you're on risers. I remember that, and I just remember you could see.
I know which one it is. Because I worked at the Public. I know exactly which. I actually, Wallace Shawn yelled at me in that theater.
Wait, like for real? He yelled at you?
Yes.
What did you do?
No, he came down to me real quick. And he,
Great story. It's worth hearing.
he comes. It was during intermission, and we had to stand by the theater, the stage, so people wouldn't walk over the stage because you could easily walk over that stage.
Right.
And so he comes walking down, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's Wallace Shawn. He's a writer. Well, he's a director. He's coming towards me." And he goes, "Excuse me, do you work here?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." "It's freezing in here. Nobody's talking about the play." And I became this big. But Wallace Shawn yelled at me.
Thought he was going to get. Patrick thought Wallace Shawn was going to discover him. Little Patrick, I'm going to get discovered.
Had it been warm, had it been a temperate,
Right?
no, you would have been discovered, but nope.
But no. So did you? So Danny did jump in and said that his kids are 15.
Oh my gosh.
And said you were the best fake ad ever.
Oh,
AD.
wait. Oh, a fake AD. I did.
Oh.
I did a show called Faking the Video where I had to play a fake producer. I was a fake producer, but get this: we had Mikey Day as a fake PA. He is now writing and acting on SNL.
Wow!
He's amazing. And then we had Lance Barber as the fake director, who went on to be the most amazing jerky writer in The Comeback. He is now on Young Sheldon.
Oh, wow.
He plays the dad on Young Sheldon.
Well, Danny has a whole Groundlings connect. Well, Danny did Groundlings, but he also did The Other Mall that Kristen Wiig was in.
And that Kristen Wiig was in, and also Karen and Mindy, right?
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think Mindy was in that because I think Danny worked with Mindy the first time with us on Come On Over, our kids show.
Got you. Kevin Kirkpatrick, I think, was in The Other Mall. I might be crazy.
He'll chime in. Danny will chime in.
I do have to give a shout out real quick for our 1 year anniversary to my husband, who also said, and happy anniversary to me. 1 year in the basement, because that's where he's relegated when I do the show. Thank you for being downstairs.
So then you saw Pirates of Penzance, and
yes.
So when did you do your first thing?
Yeah, like when did you know you were? And was it? I'm sorry, I'm going to chime in. And was it? Do you sing? Was it music? Was it funny? Was it what?
Yeah, I definitely sing, and I was doing little anytime they had a pageant. We did one per grade. I was in it. You know what I mean? That started first grade. So I would say first grade, I was always like looking around, when's the next chance I get to perform? I want to give a shout out to this theater. There was an English teacher. My dad was a teacher at the high school, and his friend was an English teacher at the high school who just decided to open an equity theater in our town.
Oh my gosh.
And it's existing today, and it's really great. And it's called the Penguin Theater.
Oh my God.
It's Joe Brancato and Andrew Horn. They run it. And it is the theater that keeps going. And it was really cool because they did a lot of popular plays to get the audience in when they first started. And they got, a lot of New York actors, they just, drive them out and do the rehearsals in the play, and then they get to go back. But then Joe said to himself, I want to do original works and I want to get them to Broadway. And he's done that. So he's done, Finding Neverland started in the Penguin Playhouse. And then they took it to, I guess, the Cherry Lane Theater, I think. And then it became the movie. So it's like this really amazing theater that's in this small, seeming town. It's very bucolic.
He did it as a play before it became the movie, so not the musical.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think it was like, I'm not sure, but it started at this theater.
It's the Penguin Playhouse.
The Penguin Playhouse, and
putting that in the chat, everybody. Check it out.
Absolutely, it's so worth it. If you are in New York, if you're in New York City, whatever, or if you're in the towns around it, please check it out. When they're back up and running, they're amazing. They're just amazing.
Nice. So that's where you got involved with doing theater?
My sisters were like ticket takers and passed out programs and stuff like that. And I was too young. I wasn't eligible to be in that. But then once I was in middle school, that's when I can audition for plays and stuff. And I was doing musicals. And then in high school, we would do a straight play and then a musical per year. So we did 2 plays. I always did one of them. I didn't care the size of the part. I was just like, I love this. I love this. I love this.
Wow.
And then I went to college to get an English degree and be responsible. But I did more plays than anything else. So I did tons of plays there. And then my theater teacher, his name is Tom Kremer. He retired this year. He's amazing. Loved him. And he recommended I go to the neighborhood playhouse after I graduated from college.
Really?
So I
Okay.
went, and a friend of my sister's got me an interview, and they were like, "Oh, guess what? We have one spot available. We can fit you in." So I did that. Graduated from there in '94. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Graduated from there in '94. I did TheaterWorks USA to get my equity card. I did a very truncated little original version of The Secret Garden. I was
Oh,
Mary
wow.
Lennox. And so and that is a really, you earn your equity card. Like you get the set, you put it in the van. I'm sure you know about this.
Oh, yeah.
There's 6 actors and 5 actors, 1 stage manager, and you drive. We drove around the Southeast United States for 3 months. You get up, you get to the school at 7, you build your set, you do a show, you have a break, you do your next show, you get in the van, you go to Taco Bell, you go to the Motel 6 and the next state over, you sleep, you do it the next day, and you do it and you do it and you do it. And I got, my equity card, I got my health insurance for a year.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And then I did another play with them that got to stay in the city because it was a play about Babar, the Elephant King. And
Oh, yeah.
And so now that's touring, but I just stayed in New York and I did that just to let you know how my performance was received. So we were in this huge, heavy elephant costume, just lots of layers, and it was like May in New York City, which is really sweaty. And we're at I want to say, what theater is that? It's got like, I'll remember it later. Anyway, it's Midtown, and it's this theater, and some friends of mine saw it, and afterwards they were like, "Stephanie, you were so sweaty. Like we could see you sweating. We could see you sweating, and we were in the back of the top row of the
Oh
second
no!
And they're like, "You were." So, I'll have to send in a picture of myself.
Your sweaty elephant.
My sweaty elephant outfit. I was Celeste, the elephant sweaty queen. But anyway, yeah, that was even more like, I think, more health insurance, more, and you're getting paid really well.
Yeah. So go ahead.
When did you come to, so then you obviously end up in LA at some point. Did you go, I'm going to do comedy, I want to hit that? Like, how did you get involved in Groundlings?
My friend, there's a bit of another turn. I was broke all the time. And I was catering my butt off and babysitting and doing whatever I could do to pay the rent and support my cat. I had a friend at the neighborhood playhouse. Her name's Joanne Newborn, and she was doing stand-up comedy. And so she was like, I want to do my own night, and I want to have my friends who I think are funny, who should do stand-up, who have not done stand-up. And she called it Newborn Comics because that's her last name. And so it was.
That's cool.
It was really cool. And so she was like, you have 6 minutes. I'm like, okay. So I just thought of like funny stories I tell at parties or whatever, or like embarrassing moments in life. And I put it together and I did it. And I remember I was so nervous about switching from joke to joke. I was like, oh God, I don't have any transitions. So I had a little jingle bell earring, and I would just be like, this is a transition, guys. This next joke has nothing to do with what you just heard. And so that was sort of my shtick for a little bit. Like, I'm just sort of like, but then my friend told his wife, who was a manager, and she got me in this sort of like alternative room. It's called the F Stop, and I remember it was on 14th Street. It's this great room, and I got to perform there. And I remember one night she said, you should perform this Thursday. And I'm like, well, I'm catering, I can't. And she's like, Steph, I don't know how to tell you this. Tell them you can't cater and do your set.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, all right, fine. So I go, and as I walk into the place, I'm like, that's Bob Odenkirk. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was, at this time it was like, what's the year? It's probably 96, I think. Okay. And so I just knew him from like Comedy Central and, Dr. Katz, and I was watching all the stand up. And anyway, I was like, oh my God, that's him. Oh my God. So I did my set and it was fun. And then he comes over and I was just like, hi. And so he's with his wife and she's like, hi, my name's Naomi Odenkirk. And I used to work for a lot of talent agencies and networks and stuff. I was a talent scout. And she goes, but now I want to start my own talent management. And if you want to be my first client, if you want to move to LA,
my gosh,
to my first client, I'm like, lady, I'm like, I'm there.
Are you driving me there? I'm ready to go now.
My sister and I drove out. My sister was ready to move out too, my sister Jen. And so we just packed my cat and moved out. And so, and that's how, and so I was doing stand-up a lot. But very soon after I moved there, she was like, you should see the Groundlings. You should see a Groundling show. She, at the time, I think she was trying to get Michael McDonald to sign with her, but he was already, I think, with someone else. But anyway, she's like, I'm going, you should go, whatever. So I went and I saw a show. I see Mindy Sterling. I saw Cheryl Hines, Holly Mandel, Charles Rocket, rest in peace, was there. Right? He was so funny. Michael McDonald, I remember it was so glamorous. Michael McDonald showed up like halfway through the first act because he was shooting something. And I was like, oh my God, that happens here. Like, I was like, I can't believe it.
That's so LA. I love it so much. It's what I love about LA. I just love that.
It's so crazy. And
he was my teacher second year to start out. Weren't you in that with me? I'm trying to remember when we were in together.
I'm trying to remember. You can't do it.
Because, and then he left and Mindy ended up taking over. And then, so I got double whammy.
Come on.
I know. And I will never forget, he said the rudest thing to Amit Zappa was in our class.
Okay.
And Amit was like complaining about something, and Michael went, "Oh, boo hoo hoo! Your dad died of cancer." But he like did this whole thing, and the whole room was like, "Oh my God!" And Amit just screamed out laughing. They knew each other like really well.
Oh my God!
We were just like, "Is this happening?" And then Amit just screamed in laughter. So.
Well, I'm very happy that they were on the same page about that.
I know.
Have fainted.
So when did you? So who was your first?
Okay.
When your first year?
My basic teacher. It was 98, and my basic teacher was Sean Hogan.
Oh, okay.
Adorable, so crushworthy. He's wonderful, but he's so sweet. And then my second teacher was David John.
Okay.
I loved him, and he's awesome. And then my third teacher was Melanie Graham and Tim Bagley sitting in. Yeah. So talk about like two, amazing teachers. Melanie was tough though, right?
She was really tough, but I loved her. I loved her, but she was tough.
Loved her. Was tough. She's seen every sketch. You know what I mean? Like nothing, like you had to really like.
My favorite sketch that I don't know if you remember, it was you and Kent and I think Ariane.
Yeah.
And you were homeschool kids going on a field trip.
No, that was Lark. That was Lark Miller.
Lark.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She was amazing.
Now we're going old school. Sorry. What?
Amazing. Oh, I love her. So yes, it was like I was the parents and they were my kids and it was homeschool and it was just we were going to like some sort of spelling bee or something. Yeah. And I was trying to tell them, don't be scared. You're just as good. Wait, what's the line? I remember a line I said. It's just like, you know why our holes have so many clothes, or my holes have so many clothes in them? Because I pinned all my hopes and dreams on you. I just remember that.
Love it. So you got in there.
Dana just said David John was in all my student films at USC. Just the best.
Oh, he's the best. You're absolutely right. Totally.
Nice.
I love him.
And Charlene, just popping in real quick. Charlene said, "Congrats on our 1 year. Great story. She loves Young Sheldon."
Oh, well,
I love your guest.
Can I just tell you, Lance Barber, who plays Dad on Young Sheldon, is the kindest, funniest, nicest guy. Nice. I'm so happy he's so successful. He's just delightful.
Love hearing that. Love hearing that.
Oh my God.
So Teresa, do you want to do the
Well, I guess the next thing is just, we've kind of been talking about Groundling stuff. So how did you, Kevin Lustig, who's one of our regulars, hangs out with us quite a bit. He said up above, I don't recognize you without the, is that, how much, so how did you get that gig? And how recognizable, I can't imagine.
Listen, we're all walking around with masks on, so not
that helps.
But also the lady, her name is Martha Clark, who does my hair and makeup. It takes like a half an hour to get all that done. It's all teasing. It's all her perfect, if I tried to do my makeup myself, I would look like a drunk landlady who was like haunting an alley. Because I can't do anywhere near that kind of perfection, I don't get noticed a whole lot. And then once the color fades a little bit, and I don't, I don't wear whites a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So I don't wear like a cardboard apron. So I can kind of have a nice double life. But that was just an audition. That was an audition through my,
Wow.
my commercial agents that I still have today. I will never leave them. I love them so much.
Nice.
I love them. They kept me. I just kept expecting to be dropped because I just was not booking. I would book just under one a year, which worth it. You're going to get your health insurance. You're going to the money is so wonderful. But seriously, I was like, I'm not driving to Santa Monica after 3 p.m. And I was waiting for them because I was like, I just can't. My soul can't do it. And then and I was just expecting them. They were like, you know what? Okay, they were like, we get it, because I think they can understand. Oh, and they were also, just to let you know, I would. Oh wait. Penny, my dog Penny, she might come on camera.
Yay.
Penny, come here, Penny. She just doesn't listen to me. Okay, ready? We're gonna flip this camera. Penny, you're gonna get a little bit of kid, but also this is our therapy dog that's gotten us through.
Is Penny the one that I met at the vet?
Yeah, she was the one I was picking up at the vet. Or probably getting her flea meds or something. But so I auditioned. I remember auditioning and the first time, and they were just like, just read it, and if you want to improv a moment at the end, go ahead. So I can't even remember that. That was like, I had a ponytail. Whenever you audition for a big box store, if you audition you would just have like a polo shirt in the closet ready to go. So I was like, okay, great, polo shirt, hair and ponytail, here I go. And then the callback was much more, and I think even back then they were like, we want this to be a spokesperson,
Oh.
And back then you just train yourself, because you're auditioning so much. You're like, good luck, good luck to you, good luck to me. I hope we get to shoot it. I hope it is, and I hope we all make money. And you're like, so it just seemed like a ridiculous thing to even hope for it. But anyway, I auditioned the second time, and it got a lot more direction, where it was just like, all right, this lady is so excited, quirkier, friendlier. And I sort of morphed into my mom, who's like completely friendly, especially if she's on the phone, she'd be like, girls, you're driving me crazy. Hello. So she was like, oh, I can be Jane Courtney. I can do that.
Oh, nice.
And so I just made, it's the Groundlings training. It's like, you want me to play peppy or quirky? Do it to a 10. Everything is delightful. Right. Everything is a miracle. You could find joy and beauty in every single thing. Right. And so that sort of set the tone for me. And then on the day of, they cut bangs and did the makeup and the thing. And that was someone else's idea, and I just remember looking at a mirror, passing a mirror, and being like, oh my God, I didn't recognize at all. I've never had makeup like that. I've never had bangs before. It was, it was just bizarre. And then that first day, I learned never touch my face because everything's white. And so I'd just be like, yeah, anyway. And then I'd be like, So I learned a lot of never touch your face ever. So that was it. And then the first day, I think they had 3 scripts with 3 different actors coming to play the customers. And so it was sort of 3 different commercials there. And then they had shot 3 different without me, but they had an old-timey microphone, and they just had me do the voiceover part into the microphone, which means 3 more. Oh. And I was like, if they air all these, we've done 6. I'm like, then it is kind of a campaign. And oh my gosh. And then that was crazy. I know, crazy. And I think at the end of the day, there was so much that we had done. I was just so dizzy and everything. And then we filmed it late December of 2007. It aired early January of 2008. And then by March, it was a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Which, like you say, it's I wouldn't even have known to hope for that.
I love that your Groundlings training, which turn it up to 10, I love that.
Absolutely. And it's and if you want to dial it back, amen, that's great. But I also credit them that they were flexible enough to be like, okay, then let's see where she goes. And we can always dial it back. We can, and then it sort of became, here's the script, here's what we're selling. And then let's have that moment at the end, that beat at the end. That sort of betrays how crazy she is.
I have a couple of questions around there, but comments real quick, which are just so fun. Our friend Mary Jane Porres, who's a comedian and artist.
And an improviser who's written a book and has done well. She does a lot of corporate training with improv here in Michigan.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. She's very talented.
Happy anniversary. Great show. Love learning about Stephanie.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Stephanie is a delight. And our friend,
our
friend Nikki Maxwell, who's an actor and good friend. I'm a TV addict and you make me laugh every day.
Thank you so much. But I just want to say we have the best writers. They're so sweet. They're awesome. They're great. Sweet was a weird word to start with. They're talented. That's what I should have said.
But that's what I wanted to go to. So you do have writers. How much is improv?
Absolutely.
How much input do you get on what's going on? And there's been other characters brought in. The one guy's from the Groundlings, right?
Oh, there's a couple. Okay. We have Jim Cashman, who plays Jamie. He's a good friend of mine from the Groundlings. We have Jeremy, who comes in occasionally, and he plays Rodney, and he's a Groundling, and he's like legendary Groundling. Both of them are incredibly talented, but Jeremy, it's sort of like the gas show is like his jam, you know what I mean? And that's he's just unbelievably talented. And then Jeremy's wife is also from the Groundlings, and she's been on a couple of times, Danny.
Oh, cool.
So we've had a whole bunch of people, Kevin Burnson, Ted Cannon. We've had just a
So do you guys get to improv, or how does it work?
We've learned it's so much better if that improv happens at the end, because then if you've got your alternate, we usually get a script and then we have a whole bunch of alternate endings, and that's from the writers, that's from the director, and then if a moment is organic, it could be us too. But at this point, when they're writing them, they're so it's not like the Groundhog's Day of the Superstore, you know what I mean? Where it's customer and interaction, and then it's a beat at the end. Now it's really scripted. It's now we have harnesses and brain machines and this and that and the other thing. So it's not as if we don't need your improvising. We just need you to survive the ocean. You're going to be swimming out of the ocean. So all that happens, and then and our director's really super funny and really great. And the writers, a lot of the times they'll be they're young. This is their first job, and they just put so much of their creativity in it. And you could see it. It's you don't need us making stuff up. The scripts are so great. But if something, once you get it on your feet and your things happen, suddenly you're in a world, you're making it a reality. And so if something happens, it's awesome. But it's not we need it. They've got so many alternate endings written. They're ready.
That's great.
It's a delight.
Do you know how many you have done?
Oh my gosh. The number 300 is in my brain. I know that's not right, but I would say over 200. I think.
Wow.
I really think so. I might be wrong because I'm trying to think. We shoot about 3 or it depends. It used to be we used to shoot 2 a day when it was just person A, person B. You know what I mean? And now some commercials take 2 days, and then some are just 1 day. So I would say about 25 a year.
Wow.
Then you times that 13 years. It's been 13 years.
Do you want to read Danny's comment, Teresa?
Yeah, I really appreciate what he wrote there. You created a character
That's so kind. Oh my gosh, what a
that
sweetheart.
transcends advertising. You've become a major part of the entertainment landscape, and it's so true. I think one of my favorite ones was, I feel like I have a memory of you playing I've seen you do more, you did 8, you did a family dinner or something like that.
That was such a total gift. One of the writers is Quinn, and the other writer, oh my gosh, they're amazing, they're brilliant. And they came up with this concept that Flo has this family, and they just wrote these full page, single space descriptions of all these characters. And we just sat around a table, and we were it was me and the writers and the director and the wardrobe person and the hair person, and they were going to, hire prosthetic makeup people. It was a gift. It was just the biggest gift in the world. They're crazy to shoot. It's a lot of work for everybody. Every department is stretched to the limit. Nothing can go wrong. The camera department has caution tape over everything because there's 6 cameras. And nothing can move. If anything moves, in the continuity shot. So we're all just oh my gosh. And it's so fun. It's so fun because that is basically, you're going to go line by line by line because you're playing one character at a time. acting with a tennis ball, acting. Sometimes they get other actors to play, to stand in for the other actors. So it's like 2 actors, tennis ball. The director is sitting like outside the frame with like a script this big, just like, where are we now? Where are we now? And it's just a blast. And like that's my favorite, when there's like an improv moment that comes out of that, because those characters are so fun. And if I kind of feel proud if I get one of mine in those. But again, there's so many people working on them that there's so like I think as far as the campaign and Flo is concerned, I'm the last ingredient of a lot of people coming up with this concept, coming up with this character, coming up with everything about it. There's so much.
What a cool thing to be able to have.
So fun.
To be so creative and to really act and have so many different characters like that.
Oh my God, I love it.
In this world that you have become, like Danny said, such an iconic character. It's like you're, Rosie, the quicker picker upper kind of.
Yeah, sort of like that. I remember, I think in one of the articles, one of the guys, I'm trying to think, it might have been the CEO or the CMO at the time, as chief executive officer and chief marketing officer. They were saying they wanted like a friendly neighborhood waitress type character, the sort of person that knows your name, because and again, this isn't coming from my brain. This is what they thought to come up with the concept. They said, insurance is such an abstract concept. Why are you spending all this money for this abstract concept? So they were trying to say, like, maybe we can make it a tangible thing. So that was the Superstore with the boxes, and be like, well, this is
yeah.
And it's not scary and it's not impersonal. So you have this friendly waitress type woman who knows you and likes you and all that stuff. And so I just thought that's a really interesting way to like stake your claim in the insurance commercial world, And so that's what I meant. Like, there's so many people that had such great ideas before I even got cast, they put so much thought into it. So
we have another interesting.
Yeah, Mary Jane, who's been listening to you on her walk, loves that you're having fun with your work, which I agree. And I want to make a point to come back to that. Amazing character work. She and her wife agree that Flo on vacation at the beach is easily one of our favorites.
You mean the one with all the other coworkers? And they're all like, chill out, Flo. Like, we're not going to talk about, aren't they? First of all, they're so lovely. We have Jim playing Jamie. We have Natalie playing Mara. We have Paul playing Alan. And they're so fun to spend the day with. It's so nice to have, it's less lonely, like to just be the only one out there. I remember in the early days, it would seriously be like, we'd shoot 2 a day. So I'd be like, well, nice to meet you. Bye. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. And just be like, oh, I wish we had more time to like talk and hang. But these people are just so sweet and so funny, and it's just a joy to hang out with them.
I love how generous and wonderful and joyful it sounds. We don't have much time left in this. Things we could talk forever about this.
I do want to, I just real quickly, I think I want to say this, and it might segue into what Patrick, because I think we're going to talk about where you are today and the work that you're doing today. I think what's so important, and this is one of the things that Patrick and I stress, is when you're having a good time, that comes through. Through even if you're having an angry scene, there's something about nurturing a good environment on set that comes through. And so, I mean, you're doing lots of other things too. I mean, I was reading about Comedy Bang Bang and some of the other things that you've been working on. Patrick, is that what your next, what have you been doing during the pandemic?
Well, I just love, we could go on and on and on about Flo and how amazing it is. And thank you for sharing so much. But, I have to admit, your little cameo on Mad TV or Mad Men made me so happy. So happy.
I auditioned for Joan, the great Christina Hendricks, right?
Oh.
And I had a great time auditioning, but I played her much like, the sour old inner 60-year-old nun that lives inside of me. Like, I sort of played her like, I guess, what Marge is, but who's the character I played. But I remember, like, they were like, listen, you didn't get this, but, would you fly yourself out to New York? It was HBO at the time, so they were shooting in New York. And then when AMC got it, because HBO passed, what the heck? It went to LA. But they said, fly yourself out to New York and you could play one of the switchboard operators. I'm like, oh, I'm there. I'm there. And I remember seeing Christina Hendricks for the first time. She had, you know, this green dress and her hair up, and I was like, oh, I see. I get it.
But just that moment of these are the most important people in this in this business.
You had to bring us candy and cigarettes if you wanted your calls to go through. Oh my God, I loved it. And let's see, we had the other girl in the switchboard op was Zandy. I can't remember her last name. And then we had Kristen Shaw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was really cool. That was it was such a fun day, and we were just like trying.
Well, and I love that you're doing the Goldbergs, so you can still do other things, you know,
Totally.
beyond just Flo. You know, that you're not tied into that. That's wonderful that you're able to do that, because sometimes
you're doing Groundlings still.
And still doing Groundlings. I mean, we have to Zoom it now, but hopefully, you know, this summer, if everything goes well, I would love to think that we could do live shows at the Groundlings again. But yeah, we're gonna have our 20-year anniversary of the Crazy Uncle Joe show.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and I think it's in July.
Well,
isn't that crazy?
But I mean, what you were saying before you came on and joined us, we were talking about the impact and influence of Zoom now reaching new audiences and share where some of these people are. So if you're watching, you can watch Stephanie in Groundlings, her Groundlings alum and friends every week.
That's right. And another thing that's cool that I was mentioning was that we have had students from all over the world, and then some of them go back to their countries of origin. So we have had players from India. You know, they're up at 5 a.m. because we're doing our show at 7 o'clock at night, and they're in their apartment and they're doing an improv show with us. We've had 2 different players from India. We've had Detroit, we've had Chicago, we've had, you know, it's just been really cool that it opened up the world in that way, you know. I missed the live theater, but I'd never dreamed that we would be having audience from, you know, all over the world. It's been really interesting. That's been cool. I'm
putting that up here so people can tune in to Groundlings, and it's just
right.
groundlings.com, right?
Yep, just go groundlings.com, and our show is Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's an hour long, and it's really great fun. We have all these amazing, mostly LA-based improvisers, and it's really fun. There's still things that are great about it. I mean, I miss the live shows, of course we all do, but it's a good time, and I hope you check it out.
So real quick, we have 2 more things I want to ask, but how do you balance it all, being mom, wife, dog owner?
Dog owner. She needs a lot from us.
Miss Penny.
There she is. She's just walking in. I will credit the schedule that I have with Progressive, because I have, you know, we shoot about, just look at her profile.
Beautiful.
Just look at her profile. I would say I would credit the schedule that I have with Progressive, because it would be 5 incredibly busy days, and then like 2.5 months off, and then 5 incredibly busy days.
Oh, wow.
So it was really great. It's a blessing I didn't know to hope for. You know, it worked out so well. And now I've been working on the Goldbergs for about 3 or 4 seasons. And by that time, my kid's a bit older, and it's a bit easier to, you know, and I don't work all the time. So the timing has been quite amazing.
It's great.
Yeah, I've been really, really fortunate. I'm just knocking on wood.
Nice. And do you want to ask the last question, Teresa?
I can't, because I closed up my question, because I thought we were done. But
well, the last one is,
curious,
we always like to ask people that are in the biz, if you have any advice to someone that's looking to get into this business.
I'm trying to think. I would say the thing I wished I knew, you know, whenever I felt like I messed up, or I didn't get a part, or I failed, you know what I mean? Like that time when you beat yourself up because like, oh, like I didn't get that, whatever. Here's the good news. No one, and I mean this in the best way, no one's thinking about you. So if you have a failure, if you fall on your face, whatever, don't worry. There's the next opportunity. Figure out what happened. Why did you fall on your face? Maybe there's things you can change. Maybe there's things you can change. Maybe there's preparation that you can do better, you know? But don't think that everyone's thinking about you and being like, no, no one is. We're all thinking about ourselves. Here's the good news. So I would say, hopefully that takes you off the hook if you feel like, oh, I'm a failure, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. It's like, no, we're all out there and we're all trying and we're all failing and we're all succeeding. And it, hopefully, if you just keep trying, it goes up. Like your average just keeps going up and up and up. Just get better.
It sounds like also through the whole process, you had fun, you were into it, and you continue to be into it. And how great, and probably never in a million years you could have ever seen Flo in your world, right?
Never. I mean, and just, self-care, like whatever that means to you, spending time with friends, going to therapy, exercise, whatever it is that you need to keep yourself healthy as a whole person, please do it, because this business is awesome and exciting and fun, but it doesn't give you everything that you need to like survive in this world. So like, be kind to yourself and have good friends and treat them well and treat yourself well.
And good friends were created out of the Groundlings. I'm so grateful that we have kept in touch through the years, and what the wonder of social media and Facebook kind of brought us back into each other's lives and running into each other at the vet. To get treats. But seriously, I mean, Ariane is one of my dearest, closest, wonderful people. And we got to hire Mindy Sterling on our kids show. Yes. So it's like, that's what Michael McDonald said to me last time. Next time you have something, hire me. It's like, okay, Michael.
Right? It's fun. I mean, that people want to work.
That's a no-brainer. Do it. Oh my God, that's
Well,
amazing.
thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Just a joy, and so true. We are all thinking. Let's see what Mary Jane says. All thinking of and responsible for ourselves. Get up, try again. Thanks for the great advice and your humility.
Oh, thank you so much.
And my friend Rick Carl, who was a part of this one time, may I say, so pretty in person, even on Zoom.
He means her.
Yeah. He means both. He thinks you're both beautiful.
Thank you.
Rick's got a really cool career. He's an art director, but he is part of my Lucy world. And he did the overseeing of the colorization of the I Love Lucy's episodes. He was the expert.
Stop. That is awesome. Oh, that's
I know.
Carl. Thank you.
Well,
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'm so happy I was here for your 1-year anniversary.
Yay.
Thank you for being here. It was a real treat. Oh,
sorry. Well, that was a joy. That was.
Oh my gosh, she's a delight. She's an absolute delight. I remember meeting her for 2 minutes and sitting in the back of a house, but that was it. Danny said something again. Agree with Rick. Oh, you look wonderful and so happy. Yeah, great energy. I wish continued success for her. Boy, she's got one amazing career and clearly deserves that success that comes to her because she's got such an amazing attitude. It's just wonderful to hear that.
And we just had so much fun together. And I think now I'm thinking we were only in one class together, which is crazy. So, okay. So next week
Patrick all worked it out.
Next week we kick off a new month.
We're going to do Artists Month next week.
Say it again because you went kind of grumbly.
Artists Month. We are going to do Artist Month. Mary Jane Porres is going to be a guest for us next month. She was commenting today. She is an improviser and a comedian and a writer and musically talented, but she's going to come to us for her artwork.
Joel Schoon-Tanis, who we have a long history with, who was creator of the kids' TV show that we produced, but he's an artist, and that's how it all came out of it. So, all right, I got to give the light to Mark because he needs it. So, and as we always say,
we got to get out of here.
Got to go. Bye, everybody. See you next week.